Hi Divine Souls, welcome back to my channel, the place where we go deep in all things manifestation, soul alignment, and healing. Today, I'm really excited to go deeper into the law of detachment. One of you recommended this topic and I'm so stoked we get to go deeper into this, because after this video you won't ever need another video about the law of detachment, because the examples I'm going to use will help you understand and implement the law of detachment in your life in a way that is going to make sense and that is going to give you tangible results. So if you've been wanting to understand the law of detachment and know how you can pair it with the law of attraction, the law of assumption, and so on, then keep on watching. Many of you have heard about the law of detachment and how it's so crucial for your manifestation process. In my opinion and in my experience through my own manifestation journey, I've realized that the law of detachment is literally the key to manifest everything that you want. Before we jump into the examples and the two different perspectives that will help you fully integrate this, I just want to explain what the law of detachment is for those who don't know. The law of detachment states that in order for us to manifest or create any desire, we must be fully detached from the outcome. Meaning, not only we must be detached from the goal itself when we are in the process of manifesting it, but we also must be detached from the path and how we get it. And there's multiple reasons that explain why, but I really want to highlight the perspective that really helped me get it. If we think about who you are in this moment, you have a certain desire that you don't have yet. That is probably the thing you want to manifest. Whether it's losing weight, whether it's manifesting your dream partner, whether it's manifesting money, travel, a house, and so on. And so if we base ourselves in the present moment, you are the version of you that doesn't have that desire yet. It's not yet present in your physical reality. And so in that sense, you wanting to reach that goal is something that will create many things for you. The reason the law of detachment is so important here is to acknowledge that as long as we stay attached to the outcome or the goal itself, we stay in the absence of the goal. Let me explain that. Who you are right now is a combination of everything that you've learned, experienced from the past. And so every time you want to create something that you do not have or have not experienced yet, then if we think rationally, you're basing the wanting of that thing based on what you know, because you don't know what you know. And so when we are attached to who we are in this present moment and the things we know, most chances are that we're acting from a place that is linked to our past. We are acting from the past in order to create the future. And when we are in that state, we don't always have the resources to get that thing we don't have yet because we have not experienced it in our reality. And I'm going to use a really simple example that I'm sure many of you can relate. When you have money problems, that is something that is really present in your mind, that is really present in your life. If you don't have money, most chances are that you think about money a lot of the time, if not all the time. Since you don't have it in your reality and don't know how to get it in your reality, you will base your experience on the past. And from your past not having enough money to pay your bills, to do the things you want to do, then you will use the evidence from the past to think about the future. Because you don't know what you don't know. And so since you know what it feels to not have money, you get attached to the desire of having money, because you know how much problems will be solved in your life if you would manifest that outcome. On the other hand, all the things that you already have in your current reality and that have been part of your current reality. You know they are part of your reality. And so because of that conviction and certainty, you don't always think about those things because you already know you have them. I'm going to use a silly example, your name. I'm really curious to know how many times during your day you think about your name. Unless you don't like your name and you're always thinking of another name that you would want instead of the one you have right now, I'm sure that 90% of you don't think about your name during the day. Unless someone calls you by your name, you will hear the name, but you won't have a story or a narrative that would be linked to your name. And the reason is that you're detached from it because you know it is your name, and in full conviction, you know it's part of you and it will always be. I know it's a silly example and out of context example, but in the same way, if we think about people that do have money and that know how to get money, money is not part of their thoughts on a day-to-day basis. They're not always thinking about paying their bills because they know they have the money to pay them. And so they receive the bill, they pay it. And if we come back to the first example, when you receive the bill and you don't have the money, then all your thoughts will be surrounding money and thinking on the ways of how you can make it happen. And as you can feel through these examples, when you don't have something, you get easily attached to getting it because you have the sensation and the feeling that it will solve the problem and the resistance that you're experiencing in your current reality because you don't have that thing. But this is a really big misconception because, as I explained to you just a few moments ago, you are attached to that outcome because you're thinking from the perspective of you that doesn't have any evidence, any knowing, any experience from actually having that outcome. And so that means that you're thinking from the past. And if you don't have that outcome in your life, it means that the past won't make it happen in the future because the only evidence you have from the past is not having it. And so when we think about the law of detachment, it's really allowing yourself to fully step in the unknown. And that is why most people struggle with the law of detachment or have more difficulty with truly grasping the law of detachment because it feels counterintuitive. Your goals, the outcomes you want to actualize and manifest in your life that you do not have yet, don't exist in what you know. They exist outside of your comfort zone, outside of what you've known until now, and that means that every desire that you want exists in the unknown. And so the law of detachment is really about getting familiar and getting one with the unknown. Understanding the power of the unknown and understanding that everything that you desire don't exist in what you know. And that helps a lot to detach from the past evidence that you have concerning any goal. Before I lost 40 pounds and manifested my dream body, I never had my dream body. Before I manifested my soulmate, I was only in abusive relationships, meaning that I had never experienced a healthy and conscious relationship before. Before I manifested 4 figures months in revenue, I had never experienced that before. It doesn't mean because you have not experienced it in the past or yet in your reality that it means that it doesn't exist. It will continue to be true if you continue to be attached to the past and act from the past to create the future. The only thing that will happen in that way is that you will take the past and bring it into the future. And so when you're fully embodying the law of detachment, you're living in this present moment, allowing the unknown to be your guide, to be the portal to manifest all the things that you desire. When you're fully detached from your current reality, from your past reality, then you allow yourself to let go of the fears and the resistance that come with not having the outcome that you want. Every time that you allow yourself to detach from your past, detach from your current reality, then you start allowing your consciousness to feel and tune into the possibility of what you actually want. And for me, the law of detachment means being in the full conviction of what you desire. In other words, acting as if you already have it. If you connect and tune into the possibility and the reality of the thing you want, then you're allowing yourself to step into the unknown, step into the possibility of having that thing, even though you have not experienced it yet. And so for me, the law of detachment is all about being in the full conviction of what is possible and being in the full conviction of knowing that all possibilities exist outside of my comfort zone and exist in the quantum field, not in my past. Every time I catch myself feeling fear, feeling worrying about not having that thing, overthinking about not having that thing, fearing not knowing how to get that thing, then I know I tune back to the past, I tune back to the version of me who doesn't know what she doesn't know. And that is the signal for me that I'm not tuning into the possibility of having that thing. I'm attached to getting that thing in order to feel differently. Let that sink in. We're attached to the outcome because we really want that thing to solve our problems and release the resistance, the contraction we're experiencing in our current reality. But you're experiencing the contraction and the resistance not because you have it, but because you're tuning into the evidence of not having it and experiencing what you've known until now without that thing. In other words, you are tuning into the absence of the very thing you want to manifest and trying to manifest from that place. If we tie back to the law of attraction, the law of attraction states, like attracts like. If we're acting, thinking, and feeling from the absence of the very thing we want to manifest, it makes sense. We're attracting the absence of that very thing. That's why tuning into the possibility of having that thing, of experiencing that manifestation, is going to allow you to fully detach from not having it. Because instead of tuning into the absence of it and allowing yourself to build evidence from the past, then you're tuning into the presence of that very thing and allowing you to get comfortable in the conviction that it's already here. Of course, in the beginning, it can be challenging to stay in attunement with the presence of that thing when it's not present in your physical reality, but we really must fully understand that manifestation is about energy. Manifestation is an energetic game. The physical manifestation of your desires is the last step of the manifestation process. Everything happens at an energetic level before that. It's all about tuning into the possibility of having that thing, nourishing that reality, and allowing yourself to become a match so that you can literally take that desire from a cloud of infinite possibilities and download it into your physical reality. That is what manifestation is. And when you're fully into the conviction of what manifestation is, then it's not so complicated to allow yourself to be in detachment of the outcomes and the ways you will manifest your biggest dreams. Because it's all about coming back into faith, coming back into conviction of the very laws, the divine laws of the universe that create this physical reality. And so before we jump into the second perspective that will literally change your life and help you implement the law of detachment fully in your life, I want to point out that when you understand manifestation for what it is, and I have multiple videos explaining that in many different ways, my biggest mission is to help you understand that manifestation is not something that you do, it's something that is always happening, whether we are conscious of it or not, because this is the foundation of our reality. And the physical reality is possible and is perceivable because of the laws that orchestrate this physical reality. And so when we fully integrate that truth, it's not so complicated to be detached from the things you want, because you fully understand in all the cells of your being that the unknown is the portal to the infinite possibilities of the outcome that you want. And so when you don't know, you actually allow the universe to work in your favor, because you are allowing yourself to let go of resistance. And when there is no resistance, there is flow. When you're detaching from the outcomes and the ways you will manifest your desires, you're opening the space for those things to come. And that is a perfect segue to go deeper into the second perspective that will fully allow you to understand the law of detachment. Is this: the universe already knows the way. The universe already has all the resources to make your manifestation happen. The universe is already aware of the infinite possibilities and the infinite ways on how your manifestation can happen. You, on the other hand, have a limited perspective on reality, because we're human and we have an ego. Our ego is here to help us navigate this third dimension, this physical reality, and so that means that our physical mind cannot comprehend the universal mind of the universe. We cannot comprehend in human terms the immensity of the universe. I have another video on how to fully discern your ego and your soul, which in my opinion is the biggest practice you can implement to fully integrate the law of detachment in your life, because the law of attachment, in other words, is about letting go of the ego and stepping into your divine self, fully becoming one with your soul, so that you allow yourself to receive the guidance of the part of you that is already connected to the universal mind, to the higher mind. And when you're fully acting, thinking, and feeling from your higher mind, you're releasing all resistance, because you know that it's already here, you know it already exists, and you know that it's already yours. So with this example, if we take a step back from our human perspective and imagine being the universe, then it just makes sense. It just makes sense that everything that you want is already here. All the infinite possibilities of the things you want already exist. And the beautiful thing is that the thing you want to manifest, whether it's money, whether it's manifesting your partner, whether it's manifesting a specific house, the beautiful thing about that is that every desire that you wish to experience in your physical reality have multiple and million infinite ways of coming into your reality. Again, as humans, through our limited perspective, we can only imagine the ways that make sense to us, and what makes sense to us in our current reality, in this present moment, is the evidence that we have from the past, because that's the only thing we know. But outside of what we know and all the evidence that we have from the past, exists infinite ways and infinite evidence of how it can happen. That is why, in simple terms, the how and the when, it's never your job. When you're fully detached from the outcome, you know that the things you want will arrive in divine timing because your higher mind, the universe, your higher self already knows how to get it to you in the way that is the most beneficial for you and that will be in the best way you could ever imagine. And from experience, everything that I've manifested in my life, from little things to the craziest things, it never happened in the way I thought it would happen. And 90.999% of the time, not to say 100%, it was way better than I could ever imagine. Way better than I could ever imagine. Why? Because in the moment I decided to manifest a certain outcome, I didn't have all the evidence of how that outcome could be actualized because I didn't have it before that. So as I said before having my dream body, I didn't have my dream body. So I had no clue on how to make that happen. But beyond all of that, beyond the how, beyond the worries, beyond the questioning, I knew what I wanted. And so when I started tuning into the presence of that reality, it allowed me to step into the version of me who already has that thing. And it became natural for me to know how to get there in a way that was serving me, even though I didn't fully knew how it was going to happen and when it was going to happen. So again, when you step back, you get to see that the universe already has your back, already knows all the resources, so your only job is to stay in alignment with that very desire, is to welcome more of its presence instead of its absence. It is to nourish the possibility of experiencing that reality, not figuring out how it's going to happen or when, but getting really clear in what you want to experience and allowing that desire to nourish you at every step of the way. That is your only job. Because again, when we fully surrender to the universe and allow the universe to do its job, we stop getting in our own way. By being detached from the outcome of the things you want to manifest, you're actually allowing the universe to do its job. To summarize everything, the first perspective is understanding that you will never manifest the things that you want by staying in the absence of that reality, but instead allowing you to detach from what you've known and step into the unknown so that you get in touch with the possibility of creating that reality for yourself. On the other hand, when you fully see and understand manifestation for what it is, meaning energy, then you get to see the forces that are at play and understand your part in the co-creation process. And when you fully surrender your ego will to the universe, then you get to fully be detached from the outcome itself because you understand it was never your job and never will be. Your ego feels comfortable in what it knows in your past because it already knows the outcomes. It is predictable, and when it's predictable, it is safe for the ego. But the truth is that if you're not experiencing the things that you want in your current reality, you have not experienced them in the past either. And so using that evidence to build your future won't allow you to manifest that thing. It's all about stepping into the unknown and allowing yourself to not know and trust. When you see manifestation for what it is, you actually get to understand the powers that are at play in the manifestation process, and you understand at a deeper level that manifesting what you want is actually inevitable because it already exists and it's already here. The only job you have to do is to tune into its presence so that it moves from energy into matter. I hope this video helped you fully integrate the law of attraction and Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions surrounding this, if you want me to go deeper into anything that I said in this video. And I'm telling you, the moment you start implementing this, instead of trying to fully understand it and grasping rationally, your life will completely change. You don't need to search for more answers. All you have to do is to experiment, because the only way you will fully grasp it is to experiencing for yourself. As I always say, let go and let God. It's pretty simple, and I know if you start implementing this in your life and testing it, practicing it, you will see big shifts in your life. And definitely I want to know how it goes for you as you implement these tips and tricks into your life, and let me know what happens and what magics unfold when you start trying this by yourself in your life. As usual, if you want me to talk about anything, any topic, let me know in the comments, and I really appreciate your support. I love this community, and I know we're going to create even more magic together. So until the next video, remember that every day is a new opportunity to create magic. Bye!